Should you zero your irons with your red dot sight? How do you zero in a red dot? Hi, I'm Tina from Target Tamers, and today I'm going to quickly cover the instructions to sighting in a red dot sight, and I'll answer those questions and more along the way. But first, this is just a really quick summary on the instructions for sighting in a red dot. If you want more detailed step-by-step instructions, check out the written guide. We'll throw that in a link down below. Let's start with boresighting. This is an in-chamber laser boresighter, and it's made to fit my 30-06. Put it in the chamber. Slowly close the bolt and point it downrange on the target. You should be able to see that dot on your target. If you're in the outdoors, some reflective targets might help with dot visibility. Now, if you're using it with an AR, I would recommend putting it manually into the chamber versus loading it with the magazine. If you're using a muzzle in or a magnetic boresighter, go ahead and insert it or attach it to the muzzle end here. Once you have that centered on the bullseye, you'll want to move to your red dot sight and use the adjustment turrets to move that dot so it matches the laser point. Now, if you're doing a manual bore sight on a bolt action rifle, you'll want to go ahead and remove that bolt. Look down through the bore to make sure that you can center that target as best as you can see it. Then you'll move to the red dot sight, make the adjustment so that dot goes to the center of the target, the bullseye. If you're going to manually bore sight with your AR, then you want to separate the upper receiver from the lower and remove the charging handle and the bolt. Look down through the bore to center the target as best as you can see it. Then move to the red dot sight to move that dot to hit the bullseye, where it's sitting on the bullseye. You want to do all of that without moving your setup. So if you have like a lead sled or a vise, some sort of contraption, great. I don't. Once you feel like you've done that to the best of your ability, go ahead and reassemble the rifle again. If you're using bore sighting tools, put them away immediately now, please. You don't want these getting mixed up with your ammunition. Bad. So once you've removed it and put them away, then you should be able to bring out live ammunition. Fact to remember, bore sighting is not a substitute for a zero. Moving on, zero your irons. Question, should you zero your irons with your red dot sight? I recommend keeping your iron sights as a separate independent sighting system from your red dot. Mine, like most everyone else's, serve the purpose of being a backup in case of red dot failure. I do not use mine in tandem, even when they are flipped up. So with that said, I'll flip mine down. Fact to remember, your iron sights are an independent sighting system. How to zero a red dot sight? Question, how many shots constitutes a zero group? Well, a one-shot zero isn't going to tell you much, therefore accuracy isn't guaranteed, so then neither is your zero. With a red dot sight, 5 and 10 shot groups tell a bigger story. They give a lot more detail, and this is a lot better since red dot sights aren't precision optics. They're made for speed and fast target acquisition in close ranges, usually under 100 yards. So my tip, don't be stingy with your ammo when you're sighting in your optic. You want complete confidence in your zero, and this is where you're going to get it. I bore sighted at 25 yards. We've got a fresh target waiting to be shot up. Let's get started. All right, so we're looking at my group right here. Got a lot going on. Here it is, 5-shot group. I'm going to call that 2 inches to the left, and we're in between 1 and 1.5. So we'll just call it 1.5 inches too low. All right, so I need 12 clicks up and 16 clicks right to correct and get on zero. Looking at that group, we'll call it 1 inch high, and I would say I'm about 1/2 inch too far to the left. Okay, let's do elevation first. With the elevation turret, we know that 1 MOA at 25 yards is 0.25 inches. How did I get that? 25 yards is where my target is at, divided by 100 equals 0.25. Next, I'm going to take how much I'm off. So 1 inch divided by 1 MOA, which is 0.25. And then we have, do the math, 4 MOA. So I want to correct 4 MOA. What does that mean and how many clicks? This is where it's important to know what the adjustment values are on your red dot sight. I'm shooting with the 6 Hour Romeo 5, so that has 1/2 MOA value adjustments. So I'm going to take 4 MOA, the correction I need, divided by 1/2 MOA, how much values the Sig Romeo has, and that equals 8 clicks. So it's too high. I want to come down 8 clicks. Sorry, needed a new paper. Right, let's do windage. I was off, how much again? Half an inch at 25 yards. We already know what 1 MOA is at 25 yards. It's 1/4 of an inch. So let's take how much off I was. 0.5 inches divided by 1 MOA. And that equals, I believe it's 2. Yep, 2 MOA. All right, now I'm going to take the corrections I need, and 2 MOA divided by the value of the adjustment on the Romeo 5, and that equals 4. So I need to go 4 clicks. I was too far left, so I want to do 4 clicks right. Let's do it. If you want to zero in for a longer distance, go ahead and repeat steps 3 and 4. Question: what is the best zero distance for an AR-15? To each their own, as is appropriate for the intended application. But the best zeroing distances for an AR-15 in a red dot sight are 25, 36, 50, and 100 yards. So this is how you sight at a red dot sight on an AR-15 and a bolt action rifle. Boresight, zero it, so shoot your first group and make the adjustment. Shoot again, and again, maybe as necessary until you're confident in that zero, and then repeat for longer distances. Last fact to remember: zeroing a red dot is fun, so get excited when you get a new one. It is always a good thing to get to the range. Now, if you need more detailed step-by-step instructions, check out the written guide. That's in a link down below. If you found this information easy to follow along with, please like it and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to have fun and be safe.